Hello everyone, Regnilla here, and today we are doing Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. This is a game that I've done years back on my channel. In fact, it's one of the first Monster Hunter games I did for my channel back when my video production was absolutely dreadful and my commentary was even worse. I mean, seriously, the videos are still up. You can go and check those out if you're really curious. Please don't, though. I had to stop those videos as well as Monster Hunter Freedom, just because they were taking up a lot of my time. Sort of like what's going on now with the whole transition with moving and school and all that. I don't have a whole lot of time to myself, so I had to put those two Monster Hunter series on hold until things improved. However, my PSP, which was what I used along with Remote Joy Lite, my PSP's USB port started having major issues, and it was just such a hassle. And then I overheard a comment somewhere about the emulator called PPSSPP, and that is what I'm using today, along with this nice Xbox 360 controller in order to play this game comfortably. Because I'm not sure about you, but if you've played Monster Hunter before, one thing that you probably don't want to do is play it on a keyboard unless you're really, really good with either Monster Hunter Online or Monster Hunter Frontier. And so, because I'm doing this on the PPSSPP program, I'm basically starting from scratch. So yeah, this is going to be an entire reboot, and we're gonna just start everything from the beginning, and hopefully we're gonna have a good time. Unfortunately, this Rathian is not, but let us get started. Alright, and so I'm gonna do a new game. I do have an extra file open, and that was just to test all the controls and whatnot. So I'm still getting used to the Xbox 360 controls. I just got to figure out everything. Okay, so press select. Alright. Bear with me here, folks. The D-pad on this isn't exactly the best. It tends to be very, very sensitive. Okay. So this is just the standard character select stuff. Nothing really to see here. Let's see. I might just skip ahead here. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. I'll go with this one. I have long hair in real life, so I have no issues looking a little bit girly right now. Now, if there's something that you guys could help me understand here, because I never quite got it, but in RPGs, a lot of times guys would make female character avatars to play as, and I never really understood that that appeal. I mean, it's just, you know, guy posing as a girl. I always found it just a little bit off. So if you guys know exactly what the appeal is, I'd like to know. Okay, I found my voice, the Type 8 voice. It reminds me a lot of Link from Legend of Zelda, so I'm gonna do that. Now, I'm not sure if what happens if you select no, but if you are a new player, go ahead and select yes. I think what this will do is it will cause you to play the tutorial level, which is you just have to do one. And so this is the Snowy Mountains. In Monster Hunter Generations, they completely changed the name of this place for some freaking reason. But I haven't played this game in so long that I completely forgot about this. I kind of want to call it a kick-ass opening, but it's also kind of scary. And also, you might have noticed that the graphics aren't exactly the best here, and that's because this is PSP emulation. So Emulators are bad enough, but when it comes to the PSP, not exactly the best graphically to begin with. And so, yeah, we're immediately attacked by a monster, and we get shoved right off a cliff. That's just unfortunate. And by the way, I noticed this on the PSPP, the PPSSPP emulator, but if you hold the right trigger, you will go like at twice speed, and I think that is awesome because Monster Hunter as a game is very time consuming, just getting from one place to another. So I will be utilizing it from the time to time. I'm gonna try not to abuse it because it is very abusable, and I'm not sure if it's going to affect the recording or gameplay. So I'm just gonna play it kind of conservatively. That way I don't mess anything up. Because if there's one thing I'm great at, it's spectacularly messing something up, like in just true fashion. But to give you an example, if I hold right trigger right now, wow, that is really fast. And so what I think happens is that it also, when immediately after letting go of the trigger, I think it also slows down. That way the emulator can catch up, or just like the frame rate. Sorry, the frame rate. My English is not very good today. But as you can see here, this is our character. A nice little sword and shield. But this is not what I want. I am not a sword and shield user. The sword and shield is great if you want just a balance of speed and just a little bit low on attack power, but it makes up for it with the ability to inflict various status ailments. But I'm just not a sword and shield person. I am a longsword person. That is, I get it. It is kind of a dick joke, but bear with me here, folks. And that's not the only thing I want. I also want to put on this armor here, which the game will not tell you about unless you actually go ahead and check things out. So this is our standard set. It is the absolute basics. Now, if we go over here to equipment detail, it will just, well, show you the equipment that you have. Obviously, this is the beginning of the game, so our equipment just, it sucks. Okay, it just flat out sucks. So we have to go and hunt the bad monsters and improve it. Now, you got these little speech bubbles here. Basically means that there's either something story important or gameplay important. So it might be a good idea to go ahead and check these out. So this guy's just going to tell you that you are attacked by a Tigrex. So that, how you managed to get out alive, just like a few bumps and bruises, you know, that's, I'm not even sure how to respond to that. This is your armory. This guy will sell you the baseline weapons. So, generally, if you have the funds and you're really low in the game, this guy is a great person to talk to. But aside from that, you want to be going to this guy who will craft you weapons and armor, provided that you have the money and the materials. Now, when I was doing my testing, I realized that, well, it's actually a little bit harder than one might expect getting the materials just to upgrade something. Actually, I want to talk to this guy again. So if I go to improve weapon here, I can improve my giant freaking bone, which is also a longsword, which also is, yeah, another dick joke. But this is what we need. And surprisingly, the mystery bone, really early on in the game, you can get it, but you'd expect it to be like a reward item, because usually in other games it's a reward item and you stock up really quickly on those. But I do know where to get that particular bone. The brute bone you can get from, I believe, either Popos or Blangos, which we will be fighting here pretty soon. This lady here, she has items for you to buy. Some of the most important items to have are herbs, potions, and whetstones. And depending on your armor set, you might want to have cool and hot drinks. But we will get into that when the time comes. And this lady over here, she will peddle a little bit rarer items. So give her a talking to. And if there's one item that's super important from her, it's actually the blue mushroom. You have combinations abilities in this game, and blue mushroom and herbs makes your potions, and you got to keep yourself from dying. And this woman here is our village elder. She is the chief, and well, we can't do anything quest-wise from her just yet until we do some training. So go over here. I'm gonna do our little training school. And we're going to do the beginner train. And I believe if you go ahead and select not a beginner, then you don't have to do this. But just for basic sake, we're going to do this. So 2 pieces of raw meat. So we're just going to do this. We only have to do 1, so it's not that bad. Okay, but the only downside is that we're forced to use a sword and shield. So, well, yeah, there's that to think of. Okay, so we go to this blue item box, and well, I believe it is circle, but on my controller it is the B button. And you have a bunch of items here. As you attack monsters, you will wear down your weapon's sharpness. Oh, and I did not want to do that, which is... well, using a mini whetstone will sharpen your weapon. What I wanted to do is actually pull it out. So, I believe it's the triangle button on the PSP, the Y button on the Xbox 360 controller. So if you just mash that, you will do a combination of attacks, as well as using the B button, you can do some pretty basic combos. Now, if you hold down the left shoulder button, you will be able to cycle through your items. Assuming, of course... Oh, I might have... Oh, okay. I believe I've been playing a little bit too much 3 Ultimate, because I was trying to use different buttons. So, for me, it is the X and B button. I was trying to use my camera and D-pad to try to maneuver through here, but for me, it's the X and B. For you guys, it's likely going to be the square and circle. Now, as you go through quests, you will lose stamina, which is that yellow bar at the top of your screen, just below your health. To replenish your stamina, you can use rations. And about every 5 minutes, you will lose 1 section of your stamina meter. So just keep that in mind whenever you're on quests for a very long time. Okay, and so this is our first area, and these are the things that we're hunting today. These are popos. They are herbivores, and they're generally pretty docile. However, if you do attack their young, they will try to defend themselves. Normally. Most of the time, they actually just run. But I'm feeling a little bit murderous, and children are ripe for the picking, so I am just going to, yeah. We only need 2 pieces of raw meat, so I'm just gonna do my carves on these 2, and I should have enough, but that guy out in the background is just looking really yummy, so I might go get him too, just for the fun of it. But I'm crouching and carving, and what that does is, if you ever watch speedruns, there is a lot of emphasis on frames, which is like the very baseline material in any footage, like in games, the movies, that sort of thing. And so it takes less frames to carve at a crouch than it does to do it from the stand. So it's actually a little bit faster if you crouch first before you start carving. So when you end a carve from a stand, you'd have to stand back up before you can go down and carve again. Alright, and that's basically the mission. You can go into Area 2, but there's really nothing for us there. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to go back to base camp, and I'm going to put these items in the red item box. Yeah, this guy loves to talk. Frankly, I just don't care. So yeah, that is like very, very baseline stuff. In the beginning, you will be doing a lot of gathering, and you just kind of have to work your way up to the actual monsters. In fact, that's a lot of people's criticism for the Monster Hunter series, is that a lot of times it starts off very slow. And, well, I think Capcom took that in mind when doing Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, because in the beginning you fight a freaking Elder Dragon, and it's like, what? But anyways, that is the very first quest, and we get some reward items. But what you want to do with a lot of reward items is, you can take them with you, but better yet, throw them in your item box. So I just took those 2 items because one was a potion which I can use, and well done steak for my stamina meter. Now I'll just let you guys know that sometimes I flip the N and the M around when saying stamina, so it sounds like stamina, and that's just, I don't know what makes me say that, and it's probably going to drive you crazy, and I'm going to apologize in advance, but if you guys get mad at me, too effing bad. Okay, so that was, wow, I think my name is a lot longer here. Huh. Like, it takes up more real estate. I might have not been on the right right text when I was going to do the name select. Oh well. So now we can do actual quests, and I'm gonna do one before ending this video. And okay, Granny, I just don't care. I get what's going on. We have to do stuff. But she does give us some money, so that's very nice for her. There's one thing I know about elderly people, is that they're very generous. They kind of have like 2 degrees, and they don't have any middle ground. They're either really cranky or incredibly generous. You don't really see anything in the middle. But okay, so we're going to do some mountain herb picking. So this is the very first quest. It is very simple. All we have to do is find some mountain herbs. And okay, we are in. Now I am going to go over to this item box first. I don't know why you can like go throughout this entire mountain and know it inside and out, but you won't know where anything's at unless you take a map with you. So this is what the entire location looks like. And mountain herbs, you will generally find it in 5, 6, 7, and 8. I am going to make a stop in area 3 to get some mystery bones. Hot drinks. Now, with armor, you get certain skills. So with this item set, every piece of armor has some sort of like little skill to it, and if you accumulate enough points in that skill, you get an effect. So in this case, we have cold elimination high, so we will not be affected by the top of the mountain. However, if we were wearing something different, why are we going through this same process again? I don't, okay, that's fine. But if you're wearing a different armor set, then the cold will start to take effect, which will make your stamina meter drop down quite a bit faster. And by faster, I mean like the time it takes for you to lose a section increases. Okay. Now over to the cliffs, I'm pressing the B or circle button to get up them. That's something super basic. Now, if I can find an enemy to actually get into combat with, generally in gathering quests, you don't really have to do a whole lot of combat at all. But so I'm just gonna try to avoid it if I can. But I will go over some of the basic things when it comes to slicing and dicing with said longsword. So I'm just going to stop off in area 3, and there... Oh, okay, so we do have enemies here. These are Gaia Prey, and you know what? I can fight them, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. So just disregard everything I said earlier. Now, if you hold the right shoulder button down as you move, you will run. And if you press the triangle button, you will do a draw slash. It is generally quite a bit more powerful than your your just general attack if you already had your weapon out. So what I like to do is I recenter myself by sheathing my weapon and just going headlong into an enemy and doing another draw slash. This little guy here is a Vespoid. They are kind of hard to hit, and they don't do a whole lot of damage, but what they will do is they can paralyze you, so that's just not good. And they have a nasty tendency to respawn really quickly. Okay, now that I have my longsword out, if I press B, I'll do a poking attack. If I mash the triangle button, I'll just do a couple of kind of vertical slashes. Now, if I do a combination, I get kind of like that. So that was triangle, circle, triangle. But if I press both of them, I will do a fade slash. And so this attack is actually pretty useful for getting out of the way last second from an enemy attack. Now, you notice that little meter that's glowing really brightly? Well, that is my spirit gauge. If that fills up, I get an attack increase, and if I mash the right shoulder button with it out, I will do a spirit combo. This is like the very basic attack that was introduced in this game. In later games, you get the Spirit Round Slash, which is incredibly powerful and, you know, so much better than everything else I've used. But we don't have that in this game, unfortunately. And I can hear that Vespoid coming up behind me. Please go away. Okay, yeah. You are not very nice. Okay, I don't want this. This is an egg, and eggs are bad. I'm going to be doing a video on egg quests, and you will see why eggs are just absolutely terrible. You don't want to get anywhere near an egg quest. But with this video, hopefully it will help you have a better time. Now, you can find mountain herbs here. I didn't know this until I was doing some test playthroughs. And there's an interesting thing about these sort of areas, is gathering nodes specifically, is that they generally look like this. They're kind of out of place, but not really. But if you go over to them and press the circle button, then you can gather from them. Every gathering spot even cards from monsters like these acanthas over here. Everything that you get is based on a percentage formula. So as you can see, I'm getting herbs and sap plants. There might be something else here, but it could have like a very low percentage to get. So there is, when it comes to just gathering items in this game, there is a huge emphasis on luck and RNG. And the saying goes in Monster Hunter, the more you want something, the less likely you're going to get it. So that's something to really keep in mind. Okay, wow, I'm getting quite a few mountain herbs. Mountain herbs are something called an account item. Now, with account items, you don't get to take them with you at the end of the quest. So anything extra that you have, it gets converted into money and farm points. Oh, I didn't know that. That's just like the wind just kicked up. That was weird. Okay, let's see. I needed 5 and I have 7. Alright. So now this is where the right trigger comes in. So watch how fast this goes. Holy crap, that is fast. So I'm just going to use this to help get me back to base camp. And it saves so much time. I mean, look at this. I mean, granted, the sound gets a little bit messed up too. Like, if you're listening really closely, you might hear the sound clicking, kind of hardcore-ish. But that's just sort of the price to pay. Okay, back at base camp. Also, there are something called save states in this game. And I don't intend on using them, because a lot of people frown on emulation, and save states is one of the reasons. So I'm not going to be using save states in this game, and good riddance, basically. But yeah, that was our basic gathering quests. We're gonna do probably a few more before we get into the nitty-gritty when it comes to actually hunting monsters. But yeah, at the end of each quest, you will get rewards, you will get money, and what is this? Oh, a small monster bone, I can use that. And that, I believe that is it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Take care, people.